Okay, so now I have logged into the application. So once you have completed your March payroll, you can proceed to do the year-end tax processing. So all you need to do is you go to the left-hand side menu. There's a year-end tax over here. Click on year-end tax, then click on tax run. So over here, just select the year 2017 and the entity, then click on start migration. So once you click on start migration, it will goes to the tax module. So the first step is to actually put in the company signature. So check through the company information, showing the correct company name and the company tax reference number. So over here, you can upload your company signature, which will then be reflected in the IR56B form later on. So once you have proceed to upload the signature, just click on next. So over here, it will show you all the employees inside the company. So you will select which are the employees that you want to process for tax. You can exclude them if you do not want to process the tax forms. So over here, I have selected all the employees. You can click on view to check through the employee personal details. So let's say some of you may have like new hires and you may have leave out the address of the employees to include them inside the employee profile. So you can click on edit and then you can put in the address for the employee. So once you have verified that all the personal details of the employees is correct and updated, then click on back. Then you can proceed to click on next. So over here, the pay item information, we have already mapped nicely for you, all the pay items to the respective fields inside the IR56B form. So you do not need to do any thing over on this page. The only scenario where you need to change the mapping is when you would like to change the tax nature of the pay items. So over here, you can see that there's item group A, B, C, and so on. So all these different item group represent different fields on the IR56B form. So we already mapped nicely for you. So you don't need to change anything. So all you need to do is click on save and proceed to the next step. So once you have completed that few steps, the next step is to let the system do the tax calculation. So over here on the tax form, under tax calculation tab, click on submit to start the tax calculation. So all the employees over here will be reflected. Then you just click on the submit button to let the system perform the calculation. So the system will pop up an Excel CSV file. So you do not need to do anything about it. This is just for you to verify the details of what are the data that has been migrated from payroll to the tax module. So all you need to do is to go back to the application, click on back, and proceed with the IR56B form generation. So over here, you can put in the destination, then click on submit. Then over here, you can select all the employees. Then you can select the digital signature to be reflected on the tax forms. Then you click download all the PDF in one, or if you prefer, you can download all the tax forms for the employees individually. So I'll just show you the download one into PDF method. So all the employee will be in one PDF. This is suitable if you are going to print out all the tax forms for the employees. So over here, it will show you the IR56B form. We already have migrated all the employee personal data as well as their income details. So you should be looking at the item number 11, which will show the employee income for the whole year. So just check through the salary wages to see whether the amount tallies with your year-to-date payroll reports. So it's important that you go through the year-to-date report after you have completed your March payroll to ensure that the data that's going to be migrated into the tax module is going to be accurate. If you have any changes to the year-to-date data, you can reach out to us to make the necessary changes first before you start the tax processing. Otherwise, you will need to do double job where you will need to go back and update the history data, then you redo the tax again. So this is how the IR56B form looks like. So if you have uploaded the digital signature, it will appear over here. So all the employee tax forms will be in one PDF. So if you prefer to have it generated in individual PDF, click on the download button. And then all the employee tax forms will be separated out individually. So there's a upload button over here. So the function of this upload button is for you, for those that's going to submit the text to IRD through a text diskette. So if you click on upload button, the system will show that the text details is now saved onto a text disk. You click on OK, then you go back to the previous page. There is this third tab, which is called the text diskette. It will allow you to generate out a TXT file. So you click on submit to generate out the TXT file. Then click submit again. So the system will populate this TXT file for you to save into a text diskette. So you open up the file, it will contain the the tax information of the employees. So you can save this into a diskette, and then you can submit it to IRD. This is applicable for those that is doing by tax diskette submission. So you click on back. Then IR56B replacements. This is only going to be used if you have submitted the IR56B and you realize that there is actually wrong entries. Then you will need to submit a IR56B replacement to amend the tax details. So it's important that you check through the IR56B form first before you file it to IRD. So once you generated out the tax forms, there's two methods of submission. For employers that have the e-tax access to IRD portal, what you can do is you follow the values on our tax forms and you can enter those details through the e-tax. For those that do not have the e-tax access, what you can do is you print out these forms and you mail it to the IRD. So there's two methods of submission. Then for those that's using the tax diskette, but I believe most of them, most of the employers, they no longer use the tax diskette submission method. But if you are using that method, you can save the TXT file into a diskette and then you submit it to IRD. So that's basically what we have for the tax processing, which is very straightforward. So let's say after you have checked through the tax forms and there's like amendment, what you need to do is you go to the templates. There's actually a few tabs over here. For you to adjust the tax income, you click on the tax income tab. So you download this Excel template and then you open up this template. So I'll just show you how you can actually fill out this particular template. We also have created a guide on this particular portion. So I will be sharing with you this guide later on after the demo session, which is also on our website. So it actually shows you how to actually use the different templates that is available. So for example, in Hong Kong, some of the employers, they may be giving like the rental reimbursement program to the employee. You can declare that information into the tax forms. So you can use the Excel template, put in the details, and you upload into the software. So there's a stock template for you to put in the gains and shares awards earned by the employees. And then for the tax income, we have also included the guides on how to fill up the template accordingly. So what you should be looking at is you generate out this Excel, and then you refer to our guide over here on how to change the values. Now, most of the time, if you have checked through the year-to-date data correctly, then you do not need to perform this step because most of the data on the tax form should already be correct. This will only be used in the scenario whereby after you have processed the tax, there is still some amendments that you want to make, then you can use the template to perform the adjustment. So let's say after you have completed all the tax processing, everything is good to go, and you are ready to release the tax forms to the employees. For those of you who are not printing out the hard copy, you can use the forms release setup, and then you click on the date that you want to release the tax forms. So let's say after I've processed the tax, end of April, I want to release my tax forms to the employee. You click on 30th April, then you click submit. So once you click on submit, on 30th April, the employee can log in to the application, and then they can view and download their own tax forms so that they can start to do their own declaration to IRD. So that's it for the year-end tax processing. So it's actually quite straightforward. So if you have any question, then you can speak through your mic, or if you would prefer to type it over here, you can let me know, then we will answer your question accordingly. Yes, you all can feel free to raise your question. Okay, for the first question, which is if you are a new company, when you register your company with IRD, you should already have a IRD will already have issued out the tax ID. So if you refer to the guide over here, which is on inside the deck, we have a specimen that will show you where you can get your tax ID. So let me show you.
Yeah, right. Fixed screen record. So you click on this icon.
So over here, when you have actually registered the company with IRD, you should already have the tax reference number. So this is actually the number that you can refer to. So you should have a document something like that for you to get the tax ID. For this particular ID over here, this is applicable if you are doing the e-tax submission. Then for the second question, which is on BIR 56A, this is like a summary form to show how many employees you are filing to IRD. So I go back to the previous slide. So let me show you the forms that you need to file to IRD. So BRA 56A form, this is to be submitted together with the IRA 56B forms. So for those that is printing out the IRA 56B forms, you can also submit it with the BIR 56A forms. So for all the employers, IRD will issue to you two sets of forms. One is the BIR 56A form, and also IR 56B form. So BIR 56A form is like a summary form where you can put in the company details and the total number of forms that you are going to submit to IRD. Then you attach the employee IR56B forms together. Then these two forms, you just submit it to the IRD. So this particular BIR56A form is like a summary page to be attached together with the IR56B form. So this is to be submitted together when you file the employee IR56B form to IRD. The other question is for company contractor that's paid through an agency, do you need to account for them? For those employees that is paid through the contractor, if they are being hired under the contractor, then you do not need to account for them. The contractor will need to actually file the year-end tax, because I will believe that the payroll is actually done by the agency. Then the agency should need to actually file the tax for them. For us, we don't issue the IRD 56A form. This form is actually issued by IRD in hard copy to the employer. So as the employer, you will receive two sets of forms from IRD. One is the 56A form, and then the other one is 56B form. But 56B form, you do not need to use the form given by IRD, because you can use the form generated from Gpayroll so that the values will have already populated on the forms itself. For 56A form, for Gpayroll, we don't have that form. So you can use the form issued by IRD, and then you just fill in the company details and then how many IR56B forms that is going to be attached. So you just fill up the summary page, which is the IR56A, then you submit it to IRD. The question on if you have like students that work for 1 day per week and they are not considered as the employees, you do not need to submit it to IRD. So the students that's receiving like the income, they can do their own tax declaration if necessary to IRD. Only employees that is actually hired and have an employment contract under your company, then you need to do the tax submission to IRD. Any other questions? No problem. So the next question is, can I go back and change some of the wages or bonus details? Yes, you can actually change those details using the template that I've showed earlier. So under the application, under templates, go to the tax income, and then you can generate out the Excel template. So how you change the wages or bonus details is you use the Excel over here, and then you can take a look at the tax result worksheet. So it will shows you by employee ID and what is the current wages or bonus that the employee has received in the respective months. So all you need to do is you check through, let's say, for example, for this particular employee, E004 with a 13-month pay of a value of 100 in the month of August 2017. So what you need to do is you insert this information under this particular worksheet called the off-cycle payment worksheet. So you enter the details over here, and then you can refer for easy reference. you can refer to the guide which I will share with you after this session. You just need to enter the existing value of the pay item that you need to change, and then you just insert the action as delete. Then the second entry, put in the new details of the amount, and then select the insert as the action. So what the system will do is they will delete off the old entry, and then it will actually insert the new amount into the application. So if it is wages or bonus that you have not entered previously, what you need to do is just to put in one line of entry, which is the action as insert. For the deadline submission for employers, I will go through again. It's also on the deck. So employer, you need to actually file the tax forms by end of April so that the employee can start to do their income tax declaration in May. Regarding the changes in the data, it will not change the historical pay slips. It will only adjust for tax submission purposes. So whatever you have done in terms of the adjustment using the Excel template that I have shared over here, the results will only affect more for tax purposes. It will not change the historical pay slip. Any other questions? If you need to change the historical pay slips, what you can do, you can actually drop us a message, and then we will have to ask our backend team to update the historical pay slips accordingly. So it will take around 3 to 5 working days for our backend team to update into the database. Any more questions? Okay, if there's no more questions, what I will do is I will close off the session. Then I will share with you the guide I have actually shared earlier, which is how to make the adjustment using the template. So you can only start the tax processing after you have completed the March payroll. So don't start the processing until you have completed the current month payroll. So other than that, if you have any questions, just reach out to us. So thank you for attending the session today. If you have any questions, we will help you accordingly. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, bye-bye.